Today I would be giving you some information on research and research objectives. So if you're wondering what is research and objectives, it's a very generalized topic over here. But we as business or product analysts, we do a lot of research. It can be research about a feature, about your product, or it can be even about the business. So there's a lot of research that we keep doing. So here is a little bit of information about what is research and what are research objectives. Okay, so let's get into it. So basically, to be very, general, research is simple terms. It refers to search for knowledge. So sometimes there would be scenarios where we don't know about a particular domain, about how a feature works, or about a process, or about a function. So at that time, we go and research in order to gain some knowledge. So that's the very first point. The second one is it is a scientific and systematic search for information on a particular topic or an issue. So when you do a research, it's not just simply going and googling something. Okay, you have to break down your research into different levels. You have to first categorize what you want to research on. Then later you start breaking it down, you start going into detail step by step. And also, not every research is qualitative, it is even quantitative, which involves numeric data. So that's why they say it is scientific and also systematic search for information. And the third point is it is also known as the art of scientific investigation. So it's not always that you have to go and search for new information or knowledge. Sometimes you do research even to investigate something. So that's what they say, research is an art of scientific investigation. So now why understand so much about research? So research is actually very important when working with a product or with customers or in a business also. Okay, so I think you would have done a lot of competitor analysis, you would have done market research. All these are types of research where you search for information and knowledge and you want to understand more about a particular topic or domain. So at these times, research is really helpful because through this research, it helps businesses understand first of all, their business landscape, their ecosystem. Where is their business placed, in what particular domain their business is concentrated in, how is the market around them, the ecosystem, how are competitors performing, how are customers responding to their business updates or responding to their business, are customers really satisfied with their business. If a business wants to bring in a new product or a new feature in the market, they might even want to understand what will be the different responses they would get from customers, the feedbacks from customers. So all this also is where research comes into the picture. So to understand all this, you always have to do research. So that is why research is very important. So to look at the objectives of research, so research, the objective of research is first to find answers to the question by applying some scientific procedures. So first of all, you apply certain procedures or processes or methods in order to find out answers. That is, you might drill down into certain areas and you would come up with certain ideas, or you would find certain processes to do your research, or you would apply certain techniques in your research to come up with answers. So in other words, also the main aim of research is to find out the truth which is hidden and has not yet been discovered. So this can be really deep analysis. Okay, maybe what data scientists do. So they analyze the past data. Okay, they drill down, they find out the truth, and then they bring out certain insights, they bring out certain recommendations. So all this is something that you can do with detailed research and analysis. And although there are so many other definitions given to research and what researchers has to what should be the outcomes of research broadly, but research can be classified under four groups. The first one is to gain familiarity with new insights into a phenomenon. Okay, so that is called formulative research studies. So you have to gain familiarity with some new domain. Okay, so at that time, to understand something, to gain knowledge, to gain information, is what is called as formulative research studies. The next one is to accurately portray the characteristics of a particular individual, group, or a situation. So if I ask you to describe, a process, or to describe a particular customer, or to describe a particular market, or to describe a particular business, first of all you need to have a lot of information behind that. So doing research in order to accurately define something is what is called as descriptive research studies. The third one is to analyze the frequency with which something occurs. So this is called as diagnostic research studies. So it's where you actually try to understand, try to diagnose, okay, what is the cause and what is the effect. So this type of a research comes under the category of diagnostic research studies. And the last one is to examine the hypothesis of a causal relationship between two variables. So it can be hypothesis testing research studies. Okay, so you have an hypothesis, you have something in your mind, and when you do a testing, all this comes under hypothesis testing research studies. Okay, so to give you a little bit of information on an example for these four categories, the first one is very straightforward. Let's say I don't have much of knowledge in a particular domain, let's say the wealth management domain. So at that time I do a research to understand the what is actually this wealth management. The second one is descriptive research studies. So once I have to explain or describe, or to define this wealth management, I need to first do my research. So this type of a research where I need to describe something is all comes under descriptive research studies. The third example is diagnostic research studies. Okay, so I have to diagnose the frequency of which something occurs. Okay, so let's say I find out that there's a lot of shutdowns. Okay, I'm having an application, but there always seems to be some maintenance issues and it's frequently shutting down. So when I have to understand this cause and effect, what is actually causing this scenario or situation, is where I do a diagnostic research study. And the next one is the last one is hypothesis testing research studies. That is nothing. So but let's say I give you this example. So let's say through this diagnostic I come up with with a research saying that most of the time, because I don't have a power backup and I don't have proper infrastructure, support peripherals or utilities, because during summertime there's a lot of power cut issues. At that time I'm not able to manage my infrastructure, which causes a lot of maintenance issues, which is nothing but the effect, and the cause is nothing but summertime, lot of power cuts, and constant shutdown of electricity. These all come under the cause. So this is something that I have diagnosed. So this is the cause and effect. Okay, so when I come up with the hypothesis here, once I've understood, okay, this is going to be the issue, now what I'm coming up with, I'm coming up with an hypothesis saying that, okay, I'm going to test it out the next time. If something occurs, then I will, if it occurs, and if this particular result occurs, then definitely this is going to be a valid hypothesis and I'll be able to test it out. So I can give you an example. Let's say during I've come to understand that at a particular period of time there's a lot of increase in sales for, let's say, ice creams, juices, cool drinks, etc. Okay, so with my analysis I come to understand that mostly it was the summertime. So now I have a hypothesis in mind saying that probably during summer times the sales of ice creams and fresh juices always increases. Okay, so this is my hypothesis. So the next time when this particular condition occurs, I will be able to test out my hypothesis. So this is the different line of research which comes under hypothesis testing research studies. So these were all the different objectives of research. So I hope this was little informative. I thought it will be a little informative for you because, to understand why we do research and what are the different types of research that we as product analysts or business analysts do. So I hope it was helpful. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and also do share your feedbacks. Thank you.